Hi and welcome to Achieve3000 tutorial, Module 2, Introducing Achieve3000 Lessons. In this module, we will be looking at first access following the initial assessment, combining Achieve3000 and teacher support, walkthrough of an Achieve3000 lesson, subsequent lessons. Achieve3000 can be used both by students independently or as part of a group or class. Research has proven Achieve3000 has most impact when a combined approach of both teaching and technology is used. The greater the teacher input, the more effective the outcomes. Beginning or below-level readers will benefit from additional help, support and guidance, whilst Achieve is ideal for encouraging independent learning for students with a good comprehension of text. In this video, we will focus on a combined teacher and Achieve3000 approach. First access following the assessment. Following completion of the assessment, students will have immediate access to a range of topics in the form of news articles and lessons. It is then advisable to spend the first lesson following the assessment walking through an Achieve3000 lesson to demonstrate and set expectations to students how to use the programme effectively. A good starting point to roll Achieve out to students is to walk through an initial Achieve3000 article and the 5-step literacy routine. Achieve3000 is most effective when students are educated in the importance of applying themselves at each step when using the programme. It's key to stress students should take their time and concentrate thoroughly throughout. To roll out Achieve to a class, first log into Achieve3000 using your staff login and select the lesson from the carousel at the top of the screen to demonstrate completing a lesson. The exact lessons displayed in the top carousel are the same for all students within the class, differentiated to their own level. You may first want to explain how all students will be accessing the same topics and will have the opportunity to read about many different things. Step 1. The Before Reading Poll. First, introduce Step 1, the Before Reading Poll. Explain students' first involvement before reading an article is to comment on an initial question asked and to provide their opinion. They can also say if they are unsure. You may also want to show how to access sentence frames at this stage. Towards the right-hand side, academic vocabulary is displayed, which students will encounter in their reading. This is a good opportunity to help discuss and develop key vocabulary. It's a good idea to encourage students to spend time developing an understanding of the meaning. This first step may on average take students 5 to 10 minutes and could be used to help prompt discussion and debate, activate prior knowledge, and create interest in the topic whilst learning new vocabulary. Step 2. The article.
In the article section, encourage students to read through the text thoroughly. You could read through the text in parts or in full with the students also. Research has shown that students who make notes and summarise the text as they read make greater progress in Achieve3000. Show students the notes section on the page and inform students to make notes on what they're reading as they read. The notes box will help indicate what the students should be making notes on. It is important students take their time and use the notes box on each occasion to help process and digest the information they are reading. Advise your students to always submit their notes on completion. This will provide you, as their teacher, the opportunity to ensure notes are being made and the quality of note-taking. Encourage students to also use the highlights within the toolbar. Students can highlight key information as they read. Importantly, students also have a built-in dictionary. Explain to them how to highlight over a word. Click the book icon and a definition of the word will be displayed. For students that require to focus on smaller areas of text, select the screen masking icon from the toolbar. This allows students to focus on smaller areas of text. Allow for at least 20 minutes of time for students to read through the text and make notes. When supervising a lesson, it is important students take their time and use the notes box on each occasion to help process and digest the information they are reading. It is vitally important to check and ensure students are not rushing through and are using the supports.
Challenge students to achieve an outcome of 75% or more on the multiple choice questions based on what they've just read. Students will receive 8 multiple choice questions, or 4 for beginning readers, to ascertain how well they've understood the text. For students to make progress on Achieve and receive gradual increases in text complexity, students require regularly first-time scores of 75% or more, which is 6 out of 8 questions correct. It is therefore important to ensure students are taking their time when answering questions and they always try their best. It's a good idea to discuss good test-taking strategy. For example, read the questions thoroughly. See if they can work out the answer before looking at the options. Is there any responses that can be ruled out? And finally, the importance of going back to the text to look for the answer within the text. It is a good idea to demonstrate good practice to go back and forward to the article. You may also want to explain to students that they receive points and bonus points for accurate work. They can earn the privilege of being recognised as a school, UK or worldwide top point scorer on any given day. Students, for example, earn points for correct answers and additional bonus points for achieving the key 75% plus score. As students are receiving content and questions tailored to their level, this provides as equal opportunity to become top point scorer for the day, week, month or year for any user. It's important to emphasise at this stage that students don't rush the lessons just to score points. Inform them it will be visible to you if they do. At least 10 to 20 minutes of time should be allocated for students to complete the activity questions. When supervising, it's important to ensure students are taking their time and not rushing through. Step 4. The After Reading Poll. In Step 4, the After Reading Poll, students are asked to go back to the initial before reading poll question and decide after reading whether they have changed their mind from their initial response. It's an opportunity for students to cite evidence from the text. Approximately 5 to 10 minutes of time should be allocated for students to complete. Step 5. The Thought Question. In Step 5, students are provided with a question based on the article. It is important to highlight to students the Include in Your Answer button. This will differentiate the task requirements based on student ability and help provide structure. Explain to students to submit their work on completion, and their work will be accessible to staff to view and mark. At least 20 minutes of time should be allocated for students to respond to the thought question. Stretch article and activity. Finally, Achieve3000 provides students with access to an additional stretch article and activity. For students reading below expected level, this will provide at expected level text, and for those at or above level, will receive the next level of complexity. The initial article helps provide the student an understanding of the topic. For beginning readers or those below reading level, the stretched text is best accessed in a fully supported model lesson to help students access the increase in complexity collectively. Otherwise, the level may be too challenging or hard to reach. It is therefore important to stress to students not to access a stretch article activity unless advised to do so. Students should initially focus on the steps 1 to 5 only, and for those just below, at or above level, they should be regularly achieving 75% multiple choice outcomes before attempting to access the stretched text and activity. For students who finish early, rather than completing the stretch article activity, they can see how other students worldwide have voted on the reading poll, and there is a mass question available to complete based on the article. A word search is also available in Step 2. It is a good idea to allocate at least 30 to 45 minutes to complete steps 1 to 4 of the literacy routine, and an extra 30 minutes if step 5, the thought question, is being completed also. If students are completing quicker than these timeframes, it is important to check they are applying themselves and trying the best, following the good practice covered. Subsequent lessons. Staff may wish to decide which lessons are completed by students. Students completing the same article as each other encourages discussion and debate, and it's also easiest for staff to monitor. Therefore, we recommend prior to any Achieve3000 lesson, logging into your staff account and deciding which article students should complete on that day or lesson. Achieve3000 automatically provides a broad and varied range of content to all users on a weekly basis. Staff can see the exact lessons allocated via the staff home screen login. Over time, it may be an idea to vary the approach, for example, enabling students to select their own topics at school or at home on various days. Students can choose their own interests from their home screen or via their search icon. For the purposes of getting started though, it may be an idea to simply use the preset lessons which are programmed for the entire year, saving time to plan. That concludes the initial rollout of Achieve3000 to students. Key outcomes for successful rollout include: introduce and set expectations for completing the 5-step literacy routine. Focus on key vocabulary and usage of the reading connections. Set a target of 75% for the multiple choice activity questions. Encourage students to take their time when reading and completing activity questions. Stretch article and activity should only be completed when instructed by staff. Please watch Module 3 to learn how to check student work on Achieve3000.